After I got back together with Phó Tố, I stopped caring where he went or who he met. Even when he took all of our savings and gave them to Hứa Sơ Tuyết, I didn't bother to ask. Maybe he sensed something had changed. Because before he chose to leave me again for Hứa Sơ Tuyết, he said, Sơ Tuyết is going abroad tomorrow. This time, she's not coming back. Once she's gone, let's get married. I just nodded, expressionless. After all, I was about to leave too. Our money was kept in a joint account. We once promised we'd get married when we reached 1 million, but now, 950,000 of it had disappeared. Phó Tố explained. Sơ Tuyét's in the middle of a divorce case. I just lent her some. You're both women, you understand, right? As if showing anger would make me the heartless one. But I truly didn't understand. I would never borrow money from someone else's boyfriend. Arguing was pointless. Like countless times before, I simply nodded. All right. Phó Tó's brows relaxed. A satisfied smile tugged at his lips. Za, you've finally grown up. Looks like that breakup really did you some good. I froze. The calm lake inside me rippled violently. How could he say that so easily? That breakup had flayed me alive, while he seemed untouched. Phó Tố was my first love. 5 years of giving everything I had. Now it all felt like a joke. After dinner, as usual, he went out to take out the trash. Half a year ago, after separating from her husband, Hứa Sơ Tuyết had moved into our apartment complex. She hadn't even finished college before marrying a rich man. According to her, her husband was violent and wouldn't let her go. Phó Tố said he needed to check if she was safe living alone. The sound of the door unlocking pulled me out of my thoughts. Maybe he was afraid I'd be angry again, so he rushed to explain. Someone in the residences group said there's a suspicious guy hanging around the gate. Maybe it's her ex. I was the one who told her to move here, so I should make sure she's safe. I couldn't even be bothered to argue. That suspicious man wasn't her husband, it was a thief who'd already been caught. I gave him a tired smile and said softly, "Why don't you just move in with her then?" His hand on the doorknob froze. Trantangia, what are you making a fuss about now? His voice was sharp. I thought you'd changed, so why would you tell me to move in with Sơ Tuyết? Do you even remember I'm your boyfriend? Because I trust you. Phó Tó's face stiffened. The words he was about to say got stuck in his throat. He looked at me, confused. You're not angry? I shook my head, my voice calm. He kept staring at me, searching my face for a lie. You're listening the to longer a story on Hebe the darker his expression became. Just then, his phone rang, that familiar special ringtone. Hứa Sơ Tuyết. I smiled and nudged him lightly. Go on, don't keep her waiting. Phó Tố gripped my hand, wanting to say something, but the ringtone kept echoing. Finally, he said, she's getting her divorce papers tomorrow and then going abroad with her family. We won't be in contact anymore. Just behave for now. Once she's gone, we'll get married. Married? To him? The wedding I'd imagined 1,000 times no longer existed in my life plan. Sure, I said flatly. He left, satisfied. The door clicked shut. In the dark, I lay on the sofa alone. The wall clock ticked, tick-tock, tick-tock. That same loneliness from our first breakup came flooding back. Only this time, I wasn't desperate anymore. It felt like I was finally getting over the withdrawal. Memories of that breakup surged up again. It all started one late night when Hứa Sơ Tuyết texted him. I want a divorce. From that moment, he changed. He even removed our couple photo from social media, saying he needed to look professional for a promotion. I never doubted him. My job was busy, so was his. I never imagined he'd have time to worry about her. We both came from ordinary families. His, if anything, was a burden. His father had emptied their savings for another woman. And when they divorced, his mother left with nothing. The signs had been there all along. One afternoon at lunch, he suddenly said, "You should learn how to do your makeup." Later, when I checked their chat history, I saw that same day, Hứa Sơ Tuyết had accidentally sent him a heavy makeup selfie, seductive. Perfect. Another evening, while we were both sweaty and breathless, he looked at me and sighed. If only your waist were a bit slimmer. Later I found out she had ordered lingerie in the smallest size, but filled in his number by mistake. Then one sunset, an electric scooter in our building caught fire. Flames spread fast, black smoke billowing. I remember thinking, thank God Phó Tố went out to take the trash. The smoke choked me until I almost fainted. When the firefighters pulled me out, I saw him, trying to run into the flames, but a woman in a black lace nightgown was holding him back. I passed out. I thought she was just a kind neighbor. During my hospital stay, he shuttled between work and visiting me. The burn was minor, so I insisted on leaving soon. I was still living in the illusion that our love was deep and unshakable. Until the day the landlord announced a rent increase. I argued, begged, even threatened to move. I must have sounded like some stingy woman counting pennies. The landlord just said coldly, "Your boyfriend still has another apartment, doesn't he?" It was like being hit in the head. She jingled the keys and left me standing there, blank. That night, when he went out to take out the trash, I couldn't resist following him. I saw him pick up a parcel, carefully unwrap it, spray disinfectant, and leave it neatly at Hứa Sơ Tuyet's door. Before entering, he lined up his shoes and changed into a pair of dark blue house slippers. His movements were so practiced, like it was his own home. I stood there for a long time, frozen, the cold spreading from my heart numbed my body. Like a puppet, I knocked on the door. From inside, his voice, "Who is it? Delivery's too fast today." Muttering, he opened the door. And in that moment, everything made sense. Why he always insisted on taking the trash out. Why he stopped ordering food and made me cook instead. Why he'd suddenly become frugal. I don't remember exactly what happened after. Just that he stood in front of her, protecting her, saying, "I only kept it from you because I didn't want you to overthink. And look, you're being unreasonable again. There's nothing between me and her." Really? Everything I'd learned about love, it was all from him. The experienced one. He said everyone had a past. Maybe I was overreacting? But then, he kept going back to her. Even our anniversary dinner was ruined by her trembling phone call. "I'm scared." And he left me in the restaurant without looking back. That night, he didn't come home until 4 a.m. His hair was damp, he'd clearly showered. When the door opened, his eyes met mine, red and swollen. He flinched, then steadied himself. "I thought you were asleep. So I took a shower at her place." Nothing happened. I threw a glass of water at him. Then came the worst fight we'd ever had. Breathless, trembling, I shouted without thinking, "She's not even divorced yet. And you can't wait to play the homewrecker? You two disgust me." Slap. His hand struck my face. The sting burned instantly. "Watch your mouth. Don't you dare insult Sơ Tuyet." I stared at him, unable to recognize this stranger in front of me. "You don't trust me at all," he said coldly. "There's no point continuing. Let's break up." 2 words, break up, spoken like they meant nothing. Back when we were happy. He used to hate when I said those words. Rage blurred my mind. Before he could finish, I grabbed his collar and slapped him back. How absurd. I was the one betrayed. Yet he was the one angry. That day, he left with his suitcase. I stayed in our apartment. Half alive, half dead, chewing food without tasting it. Later, in the residence's group chat, Hứa Sơ Tuyet posted a video. A man clumsily cooking in a kitchen. "No one in this house can cook. I'm gonna cry. JPG. It was him. Maybe hire a maid? We eat together, but we like spicy food. I like spicy food. He doesn't. He always avoided it, but now he could eat spicy food, with her." I went to his office. He looked fine, calm, focused, even bought flowers after work. He'd never given me any. We were saving money for the wedding. He'd said, "Flowers are an unnecessary expense." I was torturing myself, scrolling through his social media, checking who he followed, what songs he listened to. I found her. They'd been listening to music together late at night, even before we broke up. I rushed to the bathroom and threw up. I once thought half the apple on the table was rotten. Turns out, the half I ate was 2. In a month, I lost 15 kilos. It felt like drowning in a freezing lake, the water seeping into my lungs. My bones, my heart, no one could save me. I didn't even know how to save myself. Until I saw a therapist. She said, Have you ever heard of desensitization therapy? Facing the pain head on, I kept putting my feelings on the table until disappointment piled up. Again and again, wearing love down to a flat line. So that day, I put on beautiful makeup, changed into new clothes, and wore a smile as I went to see Phó Tố. For a moment, amazement flickered in his eyes. But he kept his arrogance. Do you know where you were wrong? Did I know? Of course I did. I was wrong for failing to see him clearly. Wrong for not being decisive enough to leave. Wrong because even now, I still clung to illusions about him. And just like that, we got back together as if nothing had ever happened. It even seemed like I loved him more than before. Every day, I fussed over him, checked in on him, tended to him in every way, more devoted than he had ever been with Hứa Sơ Tuyết. Even the shameful things, I was willing to try with him. Phó Tố was overjoyed. Za, if you'd been like this from the start, how great it would have been. But gradually, he began to sense something was off. I no longer cared if he was exhausted from overtime. Nor did I worry when he caught a cold. I didn't question him, I didn't control him. If he replied slowly, I didn't prod. If he cancelled plans, I didn't get mad. I even pretended not to see the lipstick stain on the collar of his shirt. In just one short month, the desensitization therapy started to work. In my eyes, he grew uglier by the day. When he leaned down to kiss me, I felt nauseated. Physical intimacy became increasingly repulsive. In those moments when he came close, maybe he sensed it too. Za, do you still love me? He asked. Without hesitation, I do. I love you. But he didn't seem satisfied with that answer. He kept asking over and over, as if trying to grasp a feeling that was slipping away. Finally, on an ordinary day with nothing special about it, I knew with perfect clarity, I could leave him now. In the days that followed, I shipped my luggage out in batches. An older schoolmate of mine who was starting a business overseas had invited me to join him. And I said yes. That time, he came back from taking out the trash unusually early. I quickly shut my eyes. He eased down beside me. His hand inched across the space between us, ready to pull me into his arms. I shifted in my sleep, accidentally, moving farther away. His arm froze in midair. Za, have you been too tired lately? No answer. Why don't you argue with me anymore? Still silence. He carried on talking to himself. What kind of wedding do you like? Should we do it at High? You always said you wanted to go there. There would be no wedding. His murmuring faded as I drifted off. The next morning, he shaved and put on the most expensive suit in his wardrobe, the one I'd given him for his birthday that year. It was the last day of the reconciliation period, and the day he would go with Hứa Sơ Tuyết to obtain the divorce certificate. She was waiting downstairs. The moment she saw him, she hooked her arm through his. When she spotted me, she smiled and said hello, her eyes full of provocation. He glanced back, saw me, and hastily pushed her away a little. Za, why are you out so early? It wasn't my usual time to leave for work. He came over, took my hand, and spoke softly. Once Sơ Tuyết has her divorce papers, she'll leave right away. I'll see her off at the airport. Tonight, the two of us will have dinner together. But I no longer believed him. A few months earlier, he'd been promoted, not yet 30, earning 400,000 to 500,000 a year in Shanghai, by most measures. Successful. As for Hứa Sơ Tuyết, the so-called going abroad with family, was just going to work as hired help. Compared with the hardship of making it in a foreign land, being the woman beside him sounded far more appealing, didn't it? I said nothing and didn't call her out. He walked a few steps and turned back again. Wait for me. All right, I have a surprise for you tonight. I didn't respond. He seemed to sense something was wrong. Za, he paused, about to return, but she tugged him along. And just like that, they were gone. Today, the sky was a flawless blue. Today, my heart blazed like sunlight. Today, I ended a failed love for good. I boarded a plane and left this place. Cloud layers slid past the window. The city below shrank into a toy set. I slipped on an eye mask and let my eyes close. In my dreams, he still appeared, but this time his face was blurred. His voice far away. I stood outside the scene, watching a film about those two people from long ago. In my sophomore year, my department and his had a debate. if your 10-year partner cheats emotionally? Should you break up? We drew the opposing side. No. You shouldn't. We won. I stepped onto the stage and delivered the final speech with conviction. Everyone wavers. A moment of straying shouldn't be a death sentence. How many decades does one have? How can you toss away 10 years of love so easily? When I stepped off the stage, he asked for my contact. Years later, fate had a cruel sense of humor. Only when the slap landed on my own face did I learn how much it could hurt. The lake surface rippled in fine rings. Story on Hebe I straightened up. The water reached only to my waist. I skimmed my hands across the surface and walked back to shore. A beautiful dream, and the last one. He kept checking the time. At last, Hứa Sơ Tuyet's husband arrived. Unlike the abuser he'd pictured, the man stood with his head lowered, timid, with a gentle, simple face. He didn't look like old money. The cigarettes in his pocket were the cheap kind. Though the car he drove had once been top tier, perhaps now, he was ruined. The divorce formalities went smoothly. Through it all, she clutched his hand. The clerk glanced up at them, eyes filled with comprehension. Leaving the Civil Affairs Bureau, Phó Tố offered to drive her to the airport. Unexpectedly, she shook her head. I changed my flight. I'm flying tomorrow. He didn't think twice. Then I'll take you home. She didn't budge. Too. Can you stay with me tonight? Let's celebrate my successful divorce. He hesitated. He'd planned to propose to me that evening. Not some extravagant, costly scene. We were saving for the wedding and a home. He'd booked a table at a restaurant by our building and asked the owner to cue the music. The staff would shout, "Say yes," together, sweet and happy. Just the thought made him smile. He was about to refuse when tears slid down her face. Too, you look down on me because I've been divorced. Don't you? He fumbled for tissues. Her tears fell like pearls, landing on the back of his hand. His heart softened. She was his first love, the goddess of his high school years. He'd fallen at first sight. Under the willows in the schoolyard, they'd brushed past each other. She had turned and smiled. He wasn't bad himself and had received more than a few confession notes. It felt inevitable they'd end up together. They'd even been the school's golden couple once. Back then, he had nothing but sincerity. He folded 999 paper stars for her. That furtive student romance, raw and heady, was a feeling he would never experience again. After graduation exams, they went their separate ways. In college, he'd tried reaching out, but she already had a new boyfriend. There was regret, there was pain, but not too much. He was still young, campus life was dazzling. And truthfully, they hadn't been that deep. Besides, he was never truly suited for someone like her. I was the one he wanted for life. I wasn't as beautiful, but I was genuine, grounded, practical. I knew how to hunt discounts on delivery apps. When vegetables were cheapest, when luxury sales hit. With me, life tasted real. Rice, oil, salt, no longer dull. But that didn't mean he had to cut her off completely. First love is always different. He was only doing his duty as a friend. When she collapsed into his arms, trembling, he finally called the restaurant to postpone the proposal to tomorrow. He hadn't told me about it anyway. Then he texted, "Za, I've got sudden overtime tonight. Let's go out tomorrow." He waited, but I didn't reply. He scrolled up through our messages and sighed. At some point, my texts had become fewer and fewer. Maybe I was silently sulking, but it was fine. After today, he would coax me and give me the wedding I wanted. As for tonight, he would let go one last time, a farewell. A farewell to his first love. And to his own youth. When my plane landed and I walked out the gate, I saw my senior waiting. We hadn't met in years. And I felt a little shy. Thankfully, Tazan Kai was the same as in college, familiar. With a hint of rakishness. He grinned. Been waiting forever to catch the moon and the stars. Finally. You're here. Then he cut straight to business. Day 2. I was already at my new desk. Day 3. I was getting up to speed on the project. Day 4. He helped me find an apartment. And I checked out of the hotel. Day 5. I officially started working overtime. Forgetting him was easy. My desensitization worked beautifully. A mutual friend asked where I'd gone. Said he was looking for me. At the sound of his name, my brow creased on reflex. I felt a flicker of nausea. I didn't reply. I worked until day blurred into night. Fortunately, Ta Zan Kai lived near me, so I hitched a ride with him every morning and evening. Half a month later, we hit our first project milestone, and he took the team out to celebrate. I sat beside him, watching him swirl the whiskey in his glass. When he tipped it back, the bridge of his nose nearly grazed the rim. Catching my gaze, he looked up, thick lashes fluttered as he smiled. What is it? Junior? I hadn't thought of an answer when someone suggested a game. I have something you don't. Everyone held up 5 fingers. If you'd experienced the prompt. You kept the finger up, if not, you put it down. The prettiest girl at the table glanced at him and said, "There's someone I like at this table." Her eyes rested squarely on him. Whoops and whistles erupted. Even more surprising, he didn't lower his finger. His fingers were long, knuckles a soft pink, nails neatly trimmed. The cheering grew louder. He added, "I've liked her for 6 years." On the ride home, a message popped up from an unknown number. "Stop sulking. When you've cooled off, come back. I've had to postpone the restaurant booking for you several times already." Obviously him. I'd blocked him everywhere when he called before. I hung up and blocked those numbers too. Eventually, he stopped calling. I thought he'd let go. Turns out, he just assumed I was pouting. I turned off the screen. "Ex-boyfriend?" he asked. I nodded. His voice was low, edged with a tipsy rasp, dark and magnetic. "He cheated? He wants to get back together?" "Something like that. Do you want to?" I rolled my eyes. Too lazy to answer. "You ask too many questions." "Senior." In the dim light, he looked at me, being stared at by a handsome man like that. It was hard not to feel self-conscious. My cheeks warmed. I blinked and turned away. A few seconds later, he asked, "Junior, guess why I'm asking so many questions?" The next day, I saw my ex again, only he wasn't there for me. At his side was her. They stepped out of a luxury boutique together. She clung to his arm while he carried the bags, things he'd never bought for me. When she saw me, her face darkened. She sneered, "Too. I told you so. She can't bear to leave you. Look, she even followed you here." He yanked his arm free from hers and hurried toward me. "Za, don't misunderstand. I'm only seeing her off for her flight." I turned on my heel and walked away. He grabbed my wrist. "How long are you going to keep this up?" "I told you, I'm just keeping her company to unwind." Pain shot up my forearm. I looked back at him. There was nothing left in me but stark disgust. I laughed. "Cold. Unwind? For half a month?" My gaze made him falter. He looked away. His throat worked as he forced the words out. "If you hadn't refused to come home, I wouldn't have had the chance to be with her at all." Before I could respond, Phó Tố spoke first. "I know you could never leave me. You came all this way. Let's just make up. Okay? This time, let's say it was my fault." He hadn't finished when a figure stepped in front of me. Ta Zan Kai, tall, imposing. One step from him made Phó Tố reflexively stagger back 2 paces. Nearly falling, Hứa Sơ Tuyết rushed to steady him. She'd been ready to speak up sharply, but the moment her gaze met Ta Zan Chi's, she fell silent. No wonder, his looks were that striking. He shielded me behind him and dipped his head. "Are you all right? Do we need to call the police?" His voice was easy, fretted with a hard-to-describe warmth. Leaning in, a hint of his cologne drifted over, cool, clean, making my heart skip. Hứa Sơ Tuyết gave a cold laugh. "Miss Tran, I always thought you were a good girl. But you haven't even broken up with a 2 and you've already found yourself a new backer. 2 timing, aren't you? Don't you feel any shame?" She turned to Ta Zan Kai, mocking. "And you, sir, guess you don't know you've been duped?" He raised a brow, the corner of his mouth curving into a smile that could make anyone blush. "How do you know I didn't want to be the third party?" "Perfect. When others are the homewrecker, it's pathetic. When it's your friend, you just hope no one finds out. But when it's you, it suddenly becomes destiny." The expression on her face warped instantly. She looked at Phó Tố, voice trembling with grievance. "Too. Look at your girlfriend, she." But he didn't answer. His eyes were glued to Ta Zan Kai, his face darkening like ink bleeding through paper. He ground out each word. "Ta Zan Kai, you again." On the way out, His earlier words kept echoing in my head. You've been losing to me all along. Still not willing to accept it? You, a loser, think you can beat me? He was so angry he was incoherent. His words circling pointlessly. After work that day, I didn't hitch a ride home with Ta Zan Kai. I signed up for a gym class. He said he wanted to try it too, but it was a women-only class. So I refused. Judging by his build, he clearly trained often. He didn't need to come with me. Outside the office, I caught a glimpse of Phó Tố lurking nearby, apparently looking for me. In a foreign city, finding me would be like searching for a needle in a haystack. He was only traveling. He'd be back home in a few days, so I didn't care. I hadn't expected him to be so shameless. A few days later, I got a call from my mother. The moment I picked up, she scolded. What's going on with you and little Phó? He's here, come home. Now, you're grown, practically about to get married, and you're pulling a stunt like running away from home? I thought I could hear him on the other end too, playing peacemaker, telling her not to scold me, saying it was his fault. I let out a cold laugh. Mom, I'm not marrying him. Her voice stalled, then shot up an octave. What do you mean you're not marrying him? Little Phó is so good, what more do you want? Or are you planning to find someone like your father? Her voice was shrill and grating. In my memory, my mother was always hot-tempered, pragmatic, sharp-tongued. My father was quiet, he brought home money, but rarely himself. At first she still hoped, later. She got used to it and stopped waiting. When he did come back, they were like strangers under the same roof. I held the phone away, waited until she finished venting, then said, Mom, he gave 950,000 of our savings to his ex. Silence, then the crash of something thrown and my mother's voice spitting at Phó Tố. You're just like your father. Keeping women on the side. He panicked, pleading that he'd only been helping a friend in need. In the end, she threw him out. A few minutes later, she called me back, after one last vulgar curse. She said, a man like that, better not to marry. Her tone softened. What about the money? I've authorized a lawyer to file suit. We should be getting it back soon. She exhaled in relief. Good. That's the money you worked so hard to save. Exactly. For years, my starting salary had been lower than his. But I didn't smoke. I didn't drink. I didn't spend much. I saved more. Of that 950,000, at least half was mine. Because of the money, I got another call from him. Za, I miss you. Please don't be mad anymore. I hung up. To handle the funds, I took leave and flew home. Ta Zan Kai signed off cheerfully, then showed up on the day of the flight, coming along. He said, to visit his parents, since it was on the way. I didn't refuse. After we landed, he came with me to meet the lawyer. Phó Tố and his lawyer were there too. The moment he saw us walk in together, his expression twisted. He didn't take his eyes off me the entire time. The transfer records were clear. The money was under the pretext of preparing for marriage. So getting it back wouldn't be hard. He simply refused to cooperate. Sơ Tuyết has already gone abroad. I've cut ties. Why are you being so stubborn? I admit I mishandled a few things before. But I didn't bother looking up. 950,000. Transfer it to this account. He glared. Do you really have to be this heartless? I turned to Ta Zan Kai. Let's grab dinner later. Trantangia, he snapped. Furious. As we were leaving, he suddenly shouted, vicious. Hey, Ta Zan Kai, you know I've dated Trantangia for 5 years, right? We've tried every position there is. You're just picking up what I threw away. Ta Zan Kai lost his restraint and swung. Chaos erupted. I hurried to pull him back. Phó Tố stared at him. Provocative, voice hoarse. See? She still cares about me. Smack. Before he could finish, my slap landed square on his face. No need to trouble my senior, this slap. I'll give myself. I drew a breath and spoke slowly. I have never denied our 5 years. Physical intimacy between lovers is lawful, reasonable, and nothing to be ashamed of. Don't spew cowardly filth to degrade me so you can pretend you're noble and above it all. The more you talk, the more revolting you become. Having said this much, there was no reason to hold back. In truth, right after our first breakup, I'd already decided to leave you. When we got back together, I never intended to stay to the end. I looked at his disheveled face. Calm. You and Hứa Sơ Tuyết are a perfect match. With each word, his face grew paler. I didn't look again. I took Ta Zanchi's hand and walked away. Only while we were waiting for a ride did I realize our hands were still clasped. Sorry, I let go in a hurry. The ever-composed Ta Zankai actually blushed, unexpectedly adorable. No need to apologize. His voice dropped. I didn't catch the rest. I wanted to take him to a hospital, but he shook his head, just a few scrapes. He could handle them at home, it was only hard alone. So, naturally, I went with him. His place in Shanghai was a small villa, tasteful, but a bit sparse, lacking the warmth of daily life. My parents travel the world all year and only come back for the new year. I paused, but didn't call out his earlier lie. The corner of his mouth and his arm were scuffed. I bent to arrange the first aid kit when I looked up. He'd already taken his shirt off. Clean lines of muscle, broad shoulders, his obliques tightened as he leaned to pour water. A black pendant hung at his throat. On Hebe Gray track pants hugged the solid waist and hips. His build was hard to look away from. If I didn't know he'd been single through all of college, I'd have pegged him for a heartbreaker. Were his muscles flexing? Did he sneak in a few push-ups while changing? I couldn't help a soft laugh. Senior, that girl you've liked for 6 years, would I happen to know her? His hand paused on the glass. Then he smiled. I smiled back. It felt like something shifted in that moment. Phó Tố still hadn't repaid the money. Strange. With how high his salary was, I was buried in the project and hadn't wrapped it up. Ta Zankai gave equity to the core team. Everyone worked with fresh fire. One day, I got a call from one of his friends. Sister-in-law. Brother Phó knows he was wrong. When he's drunk, he keeps calling your name. Over the past year, I blocked countless numbers from him and his buddies. Apparently one slipped through. I was exhausted from overtime, so I treated it like cheap entertainment and didn't hang up immediately. He took the chance to go on. We met that Hứa Sơ Tuyết girl, total trash. She's nothing compared to you. Brother Phó just pitied her. He doesn't have feelings for her. Couples fight. It happens. You two have been together so long. You can get past this. Everyone knows you still love him. Or else you wouldn't let him keep the wedding money this long. Don't be mad, he works so hard. Make up with him. I sipped my coffee, unruffled. You done? Silence on the line. I cut in. Thanks for the reminder. I'll remember to collect what he owes me. Then I hung up. Too many words, no need to say more. Too many people, not worth engaging. When our anniversary came, Ta Zankai had everything prepared. We went to Croatia, he took me to the sea, and we looked up at a sky full of stars. I went still. A year ago, when I was still with Phó Tố, I never dared imagine a day like this, in a foreign country. With the man I loved, feeling how wide the world could be. With Phó Tố, all I'd had were days so suffocatingly frugal they seemed endless. Some people choose simple meals and quiet days because they've already tasted all the splendor. Others, because they're forced to adapt. The only thing that held me then was love, when love dissolved. Everything else did too. A single light breeze was enough to blow it all away. That New Year, he took me home to meet his parents. The plane landed in Shanghai. Such a big city, and yet it's easy to run into familiar ghosts. Outside a high-rise, a sloppily dressed woman was shouting, "You got a raise and didn't tell me. I'm carrying your child, do you hear me?" It was Hứa Sơ Tuyết. The man facing her was Phó Tố. From the look of her belly, she was 5 or 6 months along. As I'd guessed, he'd never truly cut ties with her. In the crowded street, he frowned, flustered. "I still have payments to make. Do you know I'm being sued?" She wouldn't listen. "That money is mine. That 950,000. You earned it. Why give it to her?" Their argument grew louder. Our car sped by. I couldn't hear the rest. Only glimpsed him lift his hand and slap her across the face. Life goes on. Some people stay trapped in the past. Others have already turned the page.